Hello again and good day to all friends. This is Mujtaba Rasti from the Thales team, and today is November 18th, 2025. I'm here with you to analyze Bitcoin using the Thales Market Screener tool. Please note that these analyses are for educational and informational purposes only, and if you use them to take positions in the market, the responsibility for any profit or loss is entirely your own. Alright, let's get started with the Thales application. Let's review the expirations and the raw database by carefully and thoroughly reviewing the options trades from the very beginning of the process of today, November 18th, up to this moment for the expiration date. And November 19th. Pay close attention. A total of 7,630 Bitcoin have been traded in the form of 2,905 option contracts, resulting in the curve you see here. You can observe a bullish outlook in it. Right now we're here. As the price increases, we see a decrease in delta up to around 94,000, which indicates a perceived ceiling, meaning call selling up to 94,000 is seen as the top. On the downside, as the price drops, we see an increase in delta down to 87, and 87 has basically become a kind of floor, 87,000 to about 88,000. In the recent downtrend, we went down to about 89,400 and then bounced back up. If 94,000 is broken here, as you can see, with a price increase, we actually see more call buying, which reflects the trader's bullish sentiment, and the price could then go up to around 98,000 if it manages to reclaim the 94,000 to 95,000 range. So, this bullish outlook for tomorrow is actually visible here. However, this rally seems to be just a pullback or a pause for another attempt at 88,000, most likely. Let's take a look at the transaction details. 7,630 Bitcoin for tomorrow, of which 4,100 Bitcoin are buys. Out of these, 2,100 Bitcoin are call buys, and 1,988 Bitcoin are put buys. You can see that call buys are slightly higher, which is why the outlook is bullish, and we're close to their target. They see profits above 94,000, which we're getting very close to right now. So this bullish leg is actually the realization of the call buyer's prediction as we're heading toward 94,000. As for the bearish leg, you can see we're still some distance from it. What's its target? 8,800. That's our longer term target. So we'll probably pause here and then move toward 8,800. Let's look at the seller's perspective. We have 3,535 Bitcoin in sales, of which 1,649 are call sales and 1,886 are put sales. Put sales are actually higher. What level are they targeting? The floor that the put seller saw was 89,300, the same floor that appeared on this candle. We dropped down to exactly 89,300, so that floor was reached. The put seller's floor was seen and they entered the market. Now we're moving upward toward the ceiling that the call sellers targeted, which we've reached here, see, around 93,000. So somewhere between about 93,000 and 94,000, this bullish move will likely stop. Most likely the peak is this resistance zone at 95,300, and then we'll probably move toward the put buyer's target, which is around 88,500. If I move the expiration date to the 29th, you'll see that the bullish outlook gets stronger. We have a positive gamma exposure. If I remove tomorrow and only consider the 29th, again, we see a bullish outlook for the 29th with 774 Bitcoin. Of course, this bullish outlook has a floor, and that floor goes down to 85 as well. Look, put selling continues down to 85, with the average at 88, so we might see a return to the 88 floor again. Therefore, as we said, this upward move will likely stop at around 95 at most. We're looking at the option buyer and seller curves together in one box. At the top, there's agreement at 95,500, which falls exactly on the break-even line. At the bottom, there's agreement at 88,500, which is currently at a loss. This means the curve tends to move toward the profitable area, the zone where buyers and sellers actually agree. We'll enter these points into the indicator. We simply enter them now. Alright, the zones are actually the entry points for the indicator. You can see that we still expect tomorrow's price movement, both the high and the low, to be downward. The reason for this is that in recent days, our price had diverged sharply toward the lower red band, so we can expect a correction and a reversal toward the green band. Here, the resistance that's been set is around 96.95 and 96,500, which could mark the end of this move. Then, as expected, we'll likely see another move downward and an attack on 88,800. Here we can see the updated zones, and again you notice that the movement of the zones compared to yesterday is downward. The maximum movement in the upper zone is 95,500, and then the lower zone, which ends around 87,800, could actually be the next price target. Alright, in the process database, as you can see in our second database, we filtered for trades of 25 Bitcoin and above. You can see the trades, and there's a sense of uncertainty among traders. The overall shape of the chart is like a long strangle, where profits are expected below 85,000 on the downside and above 97,000 on the upside, but, well, the direction isn't clear. There are some interesting positions. For example, here we have 180 Bitcoin in long puts at 90,000 and 200 Bitcoin in short puts at 90,000. Basically, these 200 Bitcoin puts have been sold for 90,000, seeing 90,000 as the floor, and these positions were open today, meaning they see 90,000 as the floor for tomorrow as well. So, the trader's opinion is that we probably won't go below this previous floor by tomorrow. On the other hand, look here, there's 1,000 Bitcoin and here 800 Bitcoin, both using a strangle strategy. That's a total of 1,800 Bitcoin in a long strangle, which again shows traders' indecision. Here we also see two purchases of 79 Bitcoin put options for 85,000 and 84,000 and similar trades like this. Over here, there's a 76 Bitcoin short put for 85,000, which shows that traders are keeping an eye on the 85,000 level. Let's take a look at the liquidity map for the 48-hour period. You can see that we're currently moving upward, and there's a concentration of liquidity at 93,000 and around 94,000, which will likely be targeted for a liquidity hunt. Of course, there's also some liquidity higher up, but it's less, around 96,000. If we switch to the 3-day view, let's check out the heat map for liquidity. Alright, let's zoom out. Okay. It seems like there's an internet issue, so let's switch to higher time frames. Let's get to the final conclusion. Based on the contracts we've analyzed, it looks like this upward move could continue up to 94 to 95. After that, the price will likely target 88 to 87,500, unless, during this upward move, we reclaim a significant high, like 107 or 108,000. But first and foremost, there needs to be a strong break above 97,000 and 98,000. At that point, maybe we could actually run some different calculations. Thanks for your attention. I hope this has been helpful.